Fill all my vision, every desire. Keep for your glory, my soul inspired. And with your perfection and your holy love, flooding my pathway with light from above. And fill all my vision, Savior divine, till with your glory my spirit shall shine. And fill all my vision, that all may see your holy image reflected in me, reflected in me. Good afternoon. My name is Jason Goodson, and I'm here with Johnny Taylor, and this is Coffee and Conversations. Good afternoon.
What's happening?
I tell you what, JT, this has been a weird week.
That's for sure.
It's been a weird, strange week. Lots and lots of terms. For me, personally, can't go into a whole lot of detail, but I'll just tell you this. There's a lot of weirdness coming out of school. A lot of weirdness coming out of
life on this earth is weird. No matter how you cut it, it's weird.
Just some strange things going on, but they're doing state mandated testing.
Yeah,
at the schools with all the kids right now, and one of the things that really bugs me about state mandated testing is that it just kills 2 weeks of school time. Yeah. You can't teach for 2 weeks. You can't do nothing for 2 weeks. Yeah. And you don't even reap the rewards for the money that you get. And in half, you say, you don't have a certain percentage of students that pass, then you don't get any money. Yeah. At all. And so there's a 2 weeks wasted for nothing if if these students don't meet their certain standards. And then it's just, it's like
not be good.
Well, basically, it comes to this: is that congratulations, teachers, for working for a year, and only 24% of the students passed.
It's like, did they pass all their other stuff during the year? Isn't that what counts?
Well, that's what counts on the report card when it goes home. Yeah, but it doesn't count when it comes to state recognition. Yeah. And state money given, and state this, and jobs, and the jobs are taken away anyways. So what's, I don't know. So I don't know. You could talk about soapboxes about things. I was going to say
our education system is just a mess, to say the least. But anyway.
Strange. It's been strange that way, for sure. But then those storms, Kathy and I, we drove over to Arlington Monday. Or Tuesday, I can't remember. It was Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, we drove over Tuesday to Arlington, and when we left here, it looked great. Yeah. And we left here that afternoon, it looked great, and then I get a call from, maybe it was my mom first, and then I started calling you because I wanted to get some confirmation on it. Yeah. There's certain people that I can call and talk to, but weather-wise, I'm calling JT 100%. Anyways,
I should be a storm chaser.
You should be, man.
That's what I thought I ought to go do this summer, since I'm unemployed now. To go chase storms. I thought about it the other day. I was like, man, if I'd have started early, I might could have done that.
You'd have chased a lot of storms this week.
Oh, this has been a storm chaser's dream the last few days.
It's been some crazy stuff happening.
Everybody else's nightmare, but.
Right. Man, it's been I've watched, I think a few years back, I don't know, how long ago was that Oklahoma tornado?
I can't remember.
It had to have been
It's been a while.
10 years
10 years at least.
Yeah, I remember seeing footage and stuff, like remains of that, but actually seeing this tornado that went through Tuscaloosa and Birmingham and all those areas, was that the same? That wasn't the same one that hit Smithville,
was it? Smithville was a whole different one.
Man, there were some just massive storms. But the reality of that thing, to watch that thing go, that was
it's just
awe.
Crazy.
I was in awe of seeing that. Now, I've seen I've been in not in a tornado, literally spinning around in it, but I've been close by and heard them. I've seen maybe one in my whole lifetime where it actually fell in the sky and went back up. It wasn't long.
Yeah.
I would never want to experience, not even close to what they went through in Tuscaloosa and Birmingham. And I heard it was on the ground for over 200 miles, something like that.
They're not sure yet, but it could be the longest track tornado since they've been keeping history. It may have made it all the way to North Carolina from the edge of Alabama, Mississippi line.
Wow. That's crazy.
They will see. They know for sure it was about 178 miles already, I think.
Wow. Gosh.
And I saw satellite pictures today on the Weather Channel of the track through Tuscaloosa. I mean, there's just this line through the woods. You can see from way up.
Absolutely crazy.
Yep.
Absolutely crazy.
Crazy stuff. So, yeah, just a weird week.
I don't know.
I've spent quite a bit of time looking at the weather stuff this week.
Man, you're getting pretty good at that, man.
I'm good at reading the radar.
You can track some storms.
I'm good at reading the radar. So,
well, there's a few things I think, along with this stuff, it's being crazy week stuff, but I think that this stuff you sent here to us to read, the sermon you sent to read was really good. I want to talk about that just a little bit. There's a guy by the name of Pastor Dan Moeller. He sent it, I think, who was it that sent it to us again? Stacy Height sent it to us. And
somebody sent it to her, and she sent it on to us.
It's really good. Some really good stuff in there. I think we're good at Christians are really good at turning over. You mentioned looking over the shoulder. He mentions in the sermon looking over the shoulder to the past.
Yeah,
I think we're really good at trying to. We're really good at not forgiving ourselves for things that we've done.
Yeah, who was it
in the past?
Who was it that said, "How dare you not forgive yourself if God can forgive you?"
Oh man, that's right.
I can't remember who. That was a quote by somebody famous.
How dare you not forgive yourself? That's right. You're exactly right.
How dare you not forgive yourself?
God can forgive you. I think, it's. I want to come back and say maybe it's just the whole doing aspect of living life. When we have that, we have that ability within us to. I think it's natural. The doer in us, especially when it comes to God things.
Yeah,
it turns up to people have these personalities of doing, but as far as doing for God, it seems like everybody takes a level up and tries to do extra stuff or even more.
Are you really committed?
Yeah, right, man. But I don't know. I think this is such a foreign concept to people, is to wake up believing who you are and living your life.
Yeah.
Without having an inclination of the past. We are so hard on ourselves about past stuff. And what I'm saying is this, is I could wake up now. There's times where I wake up and I think about stuff that happened 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm beating myself up over things that happened so long.
Well, it's not bad to remember those things and remember the lessons you learned from them.
Right.
But as far as it beating you over the head with it, you're not going to change it.
Right.
And you can't be sad enough about it to make God feel any better about you about it.
He talks about, I don't know the exact quote, but just waking up believing that you're a son.
Yeah, instead of
a daughter, a son or a daughter, or just a child of God. Waking up believing that simple thing about yourself. What a huge concept on viewing God, even in manifesting God and revealing God to other people, especially when it comes to just our daily lives and how we live, because we're not waking up worrying about how we're going to fulfill the 10 Commandments today, or how are we going to fulfill God's will today. if you believe that you're a son or a daughter, those things are going to come naturally.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that I could totally sit here and try to muster up formula upon formula, and we've seen books on formulas and formulas and formulas. You know, one of the greatest tragedies of my life, and probably at the same time a pretty interesting time in my life, is when I got this book, The 7 Promises of a Promise Keeper.
Oh yeah.
Are you talking about feeling guilty over something? I think I broke every 7 promise that was in that book.
Yeah.
At one time or another, after I got the book and read it.
No, man.
And there's some really good quotes in here too. I just want to look up some of these and check them out.
Yeah, I was trying to find the one about waking up. I don't wake up trying to be a good Christian.
Right.
I wake up a son.
A son. Right. That's really good.
That's the beginning.
Right.
And then the rest goes from that.
Quit calling yourself a sinner. He says.
Yeah.
It's the. He even mentions in here. Our eyes should be single focused on Him, not but. Yeah. In other words, I'm focused on God. I want to worship God, but there's.
I've got all these things that are keeping me from it, and I got to get them worked out.
But here we go. We got.
No, just focus on what God says and what's true.
He does this. We talked about this earlier, but this is a really good opening. He says, "See, in Christianity, you have to be, not do. All of your doing flows out of your being. And if you're a good beer, you'll be a great doer."
Yeah.
Which explains the fact that being who you are, realizing who you are, being in Christ, and all of it through Christ is going to manifest the work of Christ in you and through you.
Because if you're being, you're not going to be thinking about doing.
And
it won't be your focus.
Your focus won't be your weaknesses either.
No.
Which is good.
What was that he said that?
Right here, right up top.
Yeah.
It's like I'd say right up top. It's the top part of it. It's in probably the 4th or 5th paragraph down. It says, "See, in your Christianity, you have to be, and not do, and all you're doing flows out of your being. And if you're a good beer, you'll be a great doer, because if you're not a great beer, all you're doing is trying to establish your being." It's a big tongue twister.
I love what it says up here. It says the devil likes to take what God said and twist it, add to it, subtract from it, complicate it, and it sounds so reasonable and rational when he speaks. It's actually become the way that seems right to a man.
Ooh,
it tends to become our wisdom because our experience justifies it. Our experience justifies it. A lot of times what we believe about God has derived from the way our lives have gone, and our definition of God comes from our life lived instead of Jesus' life lived, yes. Because He is the will of the Father revealed.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's what? Okay, I dealt in going through this myself and walking through this exact pattern and having to come out and taking. I want to say there's probably a 5 or 6 year period there of really of a hard struggle.
Yeah.
Of getting through. I mean, I remember probably starting in 96. That's a very basic level of some things I've never heard. Probably, and even back in 91 and 92, going to experience camp. And I remember even being a camper in 86.
Yeah.
Hearing my counselor, I can't remember, his Woody is his name, but I don't remember his last name.
I don't know that.
But I just remember it was a long time ago. But I remember him sitting down with me on a one-on-one session and telling me the meaning of grace. And he went, God's riches at Christ's expense.
Yeah.
He made the acrostic,
Yeah.
And for me at the time, being in the 6th grade, I believe I was at the time.
Yeah.
That didn't mean a whole lot of junk to me at the moment.
Yeah.
But seeing the reality of that lived out, being that He took on everything for us and He became the gift, He became everything, for us in that moment. it helps me see that later on down the road, there were bits and pieces of things about God that I learned, but there was about a 5 or 6 year period from 96 to, 2000, 2001, where it was such a big struggle that it was hard to let go of all those. And JT sat and listened, and there were so many moments where we went through that. And I'm just saying this as someone that walked through it,
I remember walking away from quite a few conversations with you, and you looking at me like, he has got to be crazy.
There was some moments. There's even times I went in there and just laid down in bed and just, Kathy, I think he's crazy. There's no way that what he's saying, especially when, well, there's a few things I might not want to say right now. But there's especially, I think, I was trying to remember the one conversation that led up to this, but it's probably, now that I look back on it, one of those moments where there's so much God revealing time in those moments. But I think the night you talked about denouncing your faith if this was not true, and I just walked away going, and I can't remember what the whole.
I don't even remember. I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember what it was about.
What we were all talking about, because we walked out. It was right after a powwow or something there. One of the evening sessions that we had been in, and I walked out, and I was like, maybe it was the worshiping stuff, the worshiping God, and being making that the only priority, the only thing that we ever focused on, and I think that's where it had come out of that. Maybe it was that, because I was trying to remember the evening, but the whole point of coming away from it was I disagree with you.
Yeah.
Pretty much on every principle in that whole deal. And you were like, well, if this is true, then I'm just going to, that I'll walk away. I'm done. I was like, how can he talk like that? It makes me so mad when he says something like that. Because I wasn't trying to change his, it was one of those things I wasn't trying to change his mind. Oh, well. But now I look back on it makes me laugh because, it's God just preparing my heart for things coming down the road. So, it's a great thing about having relationships with people is that you get to work through things like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And what it did is it shook the doer in me way up is what it did. It shook it all to pieces.
Yeah.
Because it was too simple. It was too easy, JT. That's what it was.
Always.
It was always too easy.
See, that was always the fun thing about this conversation because I knew you heard what I said. You just didn't go away with a blank stare. You went away, he's crazy.
Oh, man. Well, I tell you what, there's moments where, I see students' faces these days looking back at me.
Yeah.
And I've had that, they have that same stare in their eye. They had that same look of, what is he talking about? And it makes me feel good.
Oh, yeah. It made me laugh on quite several occasions as I walked away.
But I don't know. There's so much in here, JT. Man, I don't know a lot about this guy, but I know that this sermon is good. This message is good. JT posted it on is it your notes page?
No, I actually posted it to our Monday night group.
Monday night group, okay. But it's got some good stuff on here, and I really hope our Monday night group reads this.
No, they emailed it out.
Okay,
probably.
Good. Good.
I know some of them already have, so get some of them have come in.
Right.
Your mom.
Yes.
And Mark and Beth.
Right. I love this statement right here. I was hoping to find this, and I love this because it just kind of reiterates what we've talked about. The finished work of Christ is exalted before God when a man or woman becomes love. We mentioned this earlier. Yeah. The old nature is exchanged for the new and is no longer ever about me. So even in tragic loss, even in crisis, I can manifest Him through that I manifest love. I don't hold people accountable. I don't stand up for my rights. When I was defending myself before this revelation was received, that was the hardest place of my life. But love became my rock and my defense, and I don't need to defend myself. Wouldn't it be awesome not to be hurt or offended?
It'd be nice.
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And it's such a hard thing for us beings to do.
Yeah.
For us human beings, because there are times I literally walk away hurt and offended.
Yeah.
Still, even because they may not even see. And that's just that. It's that doer in me that wants them to understand it and get it. It's hard for me to walk away from conversations like you did a long time ago. That's all I got to say about that.
That's because I knew you heard what I was saying, so I didn't have to worry about it.
Well, there's times where I'll use this example of Stu in Cordova, and just for those of you who don't know, these two guys they were counselors at camp, but I think it was Stu's maybe second or third year as a counselor, and probably it was John's first year, and just to see Stu's like heart rate go up when John was going through these moments, and he was so frustrated and I think one of the biggest things that I learned was we can't do the work of the Spirit.
No.
We can't change a person. We can't make them different. We can't make that happen. And literally watching Stu with Cordova and that whole situation, because Stu really wanted to fix the problem.
Yeah.
You know, there's times where I really wanted to fix somebody else's problem.
Yeah.
I wanted to make it right. But one of the biggest revelations was watching Stu and Cordova go through this motion and finally seeing that he could do all he wanted to at that moment, but he would never be able to fix him.
No.
And only God can intervene and fix and do any of that work. That took the doer out of Stewart.
Yeah. And sometimes it's heartbreaking.
Oh, man.
Because we don't see the picture God sees.
Right.
All the time.
Right.
And, man, so here in the physical, that a lot of the time is heartbreaking. Mm-hmm. But it's better to be heartbroken than to intervene in a place that God's not intervening.
Mm-hmm.
That's always a bad thing.
Right. Boy. You're exactly right.
A really bad thing.
Oh, man, I keep hitting this thing.
He's going to break his finger.
I've already, tore half a fingernail off now. But I don't know. I just feel like one of the greatest revelations we can do is to grab a hold of the simple concept of being a son or a daughter and being happy with that.
Yeah.
Just being okay with being a son or a daughter would be huge for people.
You're a son of God.
I mean, how big?
That's just a cliche. That's a cliche.
That is not. I mean, it's so much more than just cliche language.
See, we would get more excited if we said we were the son of a president.
You're right.
But
my dad's the governor.
Yeah.
My dad's the president.
But that don't even come close to holding the weight of being a son of God.
Nothing. Exactly.
Not even close.
Man.
We're the son of the God of the eternal kingdom. Eternal.
That's right, boy.
You ain't going to get voted out.
We get to have an intimate relationship with that God. That person. Forever. Well, that's big news right there, man. Yeah. That is big stuff. How can that not excite you? Oh, man.
Intimate relationship.
Intimate. That's right. Intimate relationships. And gosh, people, man, you've got to have an intimate relationship with God. That's part of the part of knowing God is being intimate with Him.
Yeah.
And that's really scary stuff. And I understand that. I know that.
I just remembered what that conversation was now.
Do you?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
It's really scary stuff because we don't want to, the revealing part of what's in us, we don't think God can handle that.
Yeah.
And that to me is so funny now.
That's past tense. He's already handled that.
That's what I'm saying. That's the funny part of it because I was in that boat for so long.
Yeah.
God can't handle my junk.
Yeah.
God can't open up the chest here and work through the situation. I was like, how ridiculous is that now to me when I think about it? Because it held me back from so much of enjoying God for so long. But I'm not going to go back and beat myself up over that now. But I'm just going to continue to be me and be a son and live life.
Yeah.
And not try to please people. I'm such a freaking wedding people pleaser. You know what I'm talking about.
It's okay.
Quit asking me to do weddings, because I'm going to say no from now on.
It's okay to say no every now and then. Or more often than not, it's probably okay to say no. That's where you're being free from other people. That's the being free from other people.
If I don't know you, just don't ask.
I remembered what that conversation was.
Uh-oh.
Because it was about eternity relationship with God. And about worship.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about, there's this picture, and I'll be honest, I think this picture is absolutely wrong.
Okay.
That's what I said then in that conversation, is that we're not going to spend, quote, eternity, which is not a time period anyway.
Right.
Falling down before God.
That's what we were talking. You're exactly right.
We're going to have an intimate relationship with Him. There's nothing intimate about falling down on your face before Him all the time. That's not a friend talking to a friend like Moses.
Right.
I think we talked about this a few weeks back about what was Moses going to be doing after he died? Was it all of a sudden going to change?
Right.
Or was he going to be talking face to face like a friend talks to a friend still?
Right.
And that's what fires me up, and that's what fired me up then.
Yeah, I think that
I've got eternal relationship, intimate relationship, not just in the same place.
Right.
But intimate relationship, just like I have with friends, even more so, even deeper.
I think the whole thing too with me was that I was having a hard time of grabbing the concept of time and removing it.
Yeah,
because that's such a hard thing for Christians who are not seeing that and understanding that. Because we base our life around 24 hours a day. Yeah. And we live in that those now moments. That'll never happen forever. I can't see that happening forever. It's not going to happen until this is all over.
Well, it's that whole mindset that, and this is why it fired me up, because I know that mindset, because I lived in that mindset for so long.
Right.
Of God's too great. There's no way I can sit down and have a cup of coffee with Him.
Yeah, that's what it was all about.
Is a father not going to sit down and talk with a son in whom he delights?
Yeah.
Or is he?
Is he? Yeah. He definitely is.
Don't you love it when your children sit down and actually have a conversation with you?
Yeah,
no doubt. Enjoy talking with you and sitting in your lap.
Right. Last night, I got an example. I crushed my daughter last night. Killed me. Oh, talking about a bad earthly dad. We're American Idol fans. Yeah. Okay. And, yes, I admit it. But anyways, we're watching American Idol, and, we let the girls watch the show, after show, not the exact show, but it's just the after show where they do, the voting off and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And it just eats up. Well, Lucy has built her magnet microphone, and has her microphone standing. She built herself a stage, and she's standing on the stage, and she's in front of us, and it's one of these moments where it's a good song, and the song ends, and of course she's still making the motions. She's in her own little world. Yeah. And it was all of a sudden I hear this, and she's standing on one of her animal books that you push and you make the noises. And it was this sheep noise. It's going. I said, "Hey, get off the animal there. Move to the side." And I think I said it in a real stern voice. I wasn't trying to be mean. Yeah. I'm talking. It was like pouring water on the evil witch and melting her. Oh, she went to the couch head first.
She didn't connect it with the book she was standing on. She just get off that stage out from in front of me.
Oh, I'm telling you what, man. And I went over there and picked her up, and I brought her back to my chair over there. And of course, she just fought me, just wanted to get out of my lap. I want to talk to you, Daddy. And I just sat there and I held her, then just held her the whole time. And I said, "I'm not letting you go until you let me say something." And of course, she finally, after about 10 minutes of kicking and just, no, I just want to talk to Mommy, and all this kind of stuff. And I wasn't going to tell her why I was holding her there for so long until she stopped. And finally, she just kind of relaxed. And I said, "Hey, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, you know. And of course, she kind of just sit there and, you know, she let me while in my, you know, filth and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, she's crying, pulled her hair back, and then I looked at her. I said, I really love you. I'm really sorry. I think you're a great singer. I said, I was just trying to move you to the side off of that animal because it was ruining the song. You know, I didn't want to. I was trying to explain, you know, digging holes with her is what I was doing. And so, anyways, the moment, finally she goes, finally she just kind of stopped and she was okay. It just took, you know, it took a few moments and she was okay. And later on she got up and went into her room and went back in there with Mom, and she told Kathy, she goes, I think Daddy just scared me really bad. You know, which is the reason I think she did that. And so she comes back in there later on, and she comes back and has a conversation with me like it never happened.
Yep.
Boy, it made me happy. It made me real happy because I was thinking, oh, great, she's never going to do this again. And, man, I don't want to be the one that crushes her spirit and doesn't want to do something.
Yeah.
You know, and, of course, I found myself beating myself up a little bit, and Kathy finally walked back there. She's fine. I was like, okay. I mean, I didn't know that she was fine until she came back up.
Yeah.
Literally until she walked back up, and she was just my daughter and didn't have nothing. She wasn't worried about anything.
Nope.
And I was like, what a great picture of this is that, you know, is that she finally just came back and just was my daughter again and showing me her lipstick and, you know, playing with this and that. Didn't want to go back to lay down for bed, you know, normal Lucy stuff.
Yep. Time for party.
But I just, you know, it's one of those moments as a dad where I was like, oh, great. Gosh, she may never recover from this one.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
Anyway, it was just reminded me of the fact that I would just rather, you know, I'd rather just, there's times where, just like you said, I'd rather just her. There's times that Zoe, Lucy, and boy, I tell you what, Iris right now, she's only 17 months old. I hope I got that right. I think it is. She's only 17 months old. But when I walk through that door, Daddy, 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 she starts running and calling my name and coming around the corner. Boy, it just lights me up. Oh, yeah. I love that, man. All right. That's all I got to say. That's good stuff.
So anyway, maybe this next week won't be quite as weird.
Hope not.
Lots of stuff going on. Just change of life. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And I want to be where this guy talks about it, just waking up in the morning and being a son and knowing it's all taken care of, right? No matter what it looks like in the physical.
That's right.
But that is doggone hard.
It's hard, isn't it?
I tell you. Woo. Trying to see if starting up a coffee roasting business is going to work out, and that's just like, pulling teeth right now. I don't think it's because it's not the way God's leading, but it's just the way it is. Because I think it's just part of the way of dealing in business in this world.
People, yep.
So,
anyway, well, just the good news is that, you know, I think for the most part, if we continue to do what we're doing, I think God's going to continue to bless it, because I think we need to live as sons even in this business. That's what we need to
always.
do.
Everything we do.
That's right.
It's not one part of the day I'm this way and one part of the day I'm
exactly
that way.
Right.
So
it's in everything.
It's all of it's ministry.
Mm-hmm.
It's about Christ being made manifest in whatever you're doing.
That's good stuff right there.
As long as he's made manifest, it really don't matter what you're doing.
That's right.
Might be playing golf.
I can't wait to manifest him in about 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah.
In Alabama.
Yeah. I was actually disappointed in one thing this week because something brought back to my mind the old Bocker ball table.
Oh, you're kidding me. Bocker ball.
Yeah, it's this fun game. No way to describe what it is. Like hockey with...
It's weird. It's
hockey with...
It's so fun.
Ball bearings to knock the ball around on the table.
It is so good.
So I was like, I wonder if there's any table. And I went and they've discontinued all of it.
Bocker ball?
Yep.
No way.
They discontinued it all. Yeah, like Hasbro or somebody bought it out, and then I guess it didn't sell up to their standards, so they discontinued it.
We could make one.
Yeah, I thought about that. I know somebody can make one too. Jim Clark.
I mean, I have to get on that now. That'd be good.
Anyway, that was definitely a rabbit.
Going a big bunker ball. What's that?
But that was a disappointment this week when I went and looked. And everywhere I looked looking for one, it was like discontinued, not for sale.
Oh man.
Until next week, I guess.
Absolutely.
I have no idea what we'll be doing, but
it's been a lot like that lately, hasn't it?
Slightly. It's probably going to get a little patchy during the summer too, because we're going to be off and running around and doing stuff.
Yeah, we'll make it happen though.
So, podcast will probably be appearing at odd times during the week.
We'll let you know when they're out.
Just to let you know. So, have a good week.
See you later.
We'll be with you later.